It's my pleasure to be here with Paula Subacci, who is the Research Director for International Economics at Chatham House, located in the UK. And Paula, I wanted to ask you, from your perspective and sitting in Europe, at the edge of Europe anyway, how you think the European governments in the post-Pittsburgh environment view the global financial crisis, its capacity to be resolved, where it is right at the moment, these kinds of questions?
Well, I think there is a sense then in Europe, as everywhere else, that the worst is over. And so there is a sense of relief compared to where we were 6 months ago at the time of the London summit. Mm-hmm. Where we go next is not clear. And there are a lot of concerns about unemployment. Unemployment is the big issue in Europe. There are issues about the situation in the banks and in financial institutions, because a lot of problems haven't been sorted out, so they're still there. There are issues with the emerging market economies within the European Union. Again, there are some strong signs of weakness in some of them, and again, unresolved problems. And there is an issue about where the growth will come. And again, if you look at the IMF projections, which were published 2 days ago, you can really see that the recovery is incredibly weak. And it's a recovery which depends very much on the money which was put into the economies to stop the fall. But now we need to find a way to growing again and eventually coming out of these support here.
I understand today that our colleagues and friends in Ireland voted 2-1 for the Lisbon Treaty, mm-hmm. Which is, of course, a major change in their view. Will this have any impact with presumably the implementation of the Lisbon Treaty on economic policy in Europe?
I don't think it will have a major impact, in the sense that probably we are already in a post-Lisbon situation. So probably this treaty and the approval of this treaty will drag for so long, then probably we need something new now. But it's good news in itself, because it was actually the worst-case scenario, which was very, very worrying. And the situation where the Irish again voted against it, with a cascade of problems. Now, again, I think the crisis, you rightly said, the Irish basically changed their mind, but I think again that was an effect of the crisis, where we could see very clearly in Europe that being together really helped, and Ireland probably got through a bad crisis, but it could have been much worse. It could have been like Iceland, if Ireland wasn't in the union and in the monetary union as well.
Well, let me ask you one last question, and that is again electoral, but in this case, the victory of the Merkel government, mm-hmm. The CDU, in the recent German elections. Will that victory and the changing of the guard with respect to the coalition, with the Free Democrats taking over from the Socialists, will that have an impact on Germany, and in turn an impact on the kind of collective European policy going forward with respect to the global financial crisis?
I find it very difficult to answer specifically on the new German government, but what I can observe is the retreat of Germany in the last year and a half, from being the leading force in Europe, mm-hmm. to be more inward looking. And this is really, we need to see if the new government will continue with this, because that will have huge implications for the whole European project. Because again, Germany is a major force, it's the driving force. Is it also the engine of economic growth in particular in the currency union? because it's the biggest economy. So, you know, we need Germany, and we need a Germany which is committed to this project. So I think we have to wait and see, but, and then again, I think it will be a wait and see in relation to other political development in Europe, in particular the election in the UK next year.
Well, thank you, Paula, for your comments.
You.